contacted yesterday by a special forces operative, and he was an actual witness on the ground to a warehouse outside of San Francisco where they found thousands of dismembered bodies with all the organs missing. In other words, they took the homeless off the streets of San Francisco and they uh, killed them, took their organs for transplant, and even the legs and arms are missing. So they probably use that for ground meat. In other words, literally, they treat us like we treat cattle. I mean, we kill cows and we take out their meat and skin and usable organs, and that's how they look at us as Goyim. This is a real thing. This is a slaughter in San Francisco, and I confirmed with people I know in San Francisco, and the homeless have not returned. So Governor Gavin Newsom has some answers to give, and so do the people behind Biden, and I think this sort of thing means that any talk of an amnesty is off the table. These people need to be hunted down like rabid dogs. That's just, they've been doing it in other countries, but I guess for Americans to have it happen in San Francisco really drives the point home as to what kind of beasts we're dealing with. They've been doing the same in Ukraine, and these are not crimes that can be forgiven. So let's make that clear, okay? Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, Henry Kissinger. They announced his death, and my initial reaction is finally and good riddance. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say a lot of things about Kissinger. I don't want to, we know he's responsible for at least 6 million deaths, probably a lot more. He's a war criminal of the first order and all sorts of other things. But I'll talk about my personal involvement with him because he was the person who initially ordered that I be killed. After I confronted his slave, Japanese economy minister Heizo Takanaka, about handing over control of all of Japan's listed companies to his boss, David Rockefeller, and to the Rothschilds, that's when the hit was ordered. And I traced this directly to Kissinger and then from Kissinger to David Rockefeller. Although, so this man, he's also, there's a testimony that he does things like rape young men and all sorts of stuff. But anyway, his death is a very significant thing in many ways because he was probably the most senior remaining Khazarian mafia operative out there on the loose. This global young leaders project of Klaus Schwab that controls so many governments, that was actually initially started by Kissinger. And Kissinger, after his death, the death of his boss, David Rockefeller, tried to take on control of the whole thing. David Rockefeller Jr. apparently is a lightweight and basically left things under Kissinger's control. But his death is definitely a game changer. It's a sign that things are really changing now. Now, the other sign that things are changing is, all this talk about climate change. They're using like weather warfare to try to start a big climate change thing, and then all these leaders, 70,000 people, flew in their private jets to Dubai to talk about climate change, and they were hoping to launder $1 trillion of Fed funny money to finance some big climate change campaign, but it was stopped. They didn't get any money. So if you look at the Republican announcements, there's a few billion out there, but not the trillions they're hoping for. So this is a clear sign that this group failed. They killed Queen Elizabeth, and then they put in a subservient Charles, and they were hoping that use him as the climate change czar and keep control of the financial system, but they've lost it. Now, the other thing I've been hearing is I got more information about the people who are offering to buy all these dollars, and apparently what is going on is that they've got a certain amount of gold, and they want to buy a few $1 billion from Asians, and then do like they did with Barack Obama and create thousands of dollars of paper dollars for every $1 of real gold. This was a desperate bid to stay in control of the financial system, but it's not working. Now, the other thing that's happening is UBS is now, it's pretty clear that they're refusing to let people withdraw funds, and if you do the math, they're underwater. Same with most of the U.S. big banks. And what I heard was there was an attempt to have the Federal Reserve Board print $1 trillion out of nothing and then launder it through the United Arab Emirates or one of these countries and have it look like it's their money that was going to back UBS, but it's not. There's no money. The Fed itself is apparently now $8 trillion underwater. They are bankrupt, and they are going to be shut down. So big changes are happening, and it's going to be visible for everybody. It's going to be impossible to deny at this point. Now, the other thing that's going on is here in Japan, something is happening. I just got a report that they're shutting down the Freemason headquarters under the Tokyo Tower. Now, I've been there. I'll try to post some pictures I took from that place. But it was a Japanese naval underground facility that got taken over as Freemason headquarters in Japan after World War II. And apparently the Freemasons are being shut down. Mr. Takas from Takas Ladies Clinic was the nominal head, and I've been told this is an ancient Egyptian family, and their plastic surgery techniques are something that go way back to ancient Egypt. In any case, that's ending. Now, the other big move was an Osprey crashed with 8 people on board near Yakushima in southern Japan. And I was told that this was a big move against the Choshu clan and the Mori clan of Kyushu, southern Japan. This is the clan that was used by the Khazarian mafia to take over Japan back in the Meiji era. And if this pans out to be true, you got to remember that they took a young imperial and have him marry a Habsburg princess to create the current Japanese imperial line. So they are Jewish. And if this is true, and this is still, then Mr. Onodera from the Southern Imperial clan, who is may well take over as Emperor of Japan. This is the sort of thing that might be happening. This is a report I got from senior Japanese right-wing sources, and it's still unconfirmed 100%, but there are signs that